Hi, all. I am here, Janet Verifine, to share with you a quick kind of training that follows along with the work that we've been doing on shadow. So, again, I'm Janet Verifine, a part of Coach Talk Cafe, and this is my 10 to 15-minute training. It's called Facing Your Tigers. So, when we did the shadow work called Peeling the Onion, we were able to look at those layers of our shadow, those places where we hide, where we're frightened, where we're unsure of. And also, we may be in denial about some of those things that terrify us. So, facing the tiger is really facing your shadow. So, it encourages us to dig deep and to select out several, not too many, because they will always be there and they'll continue to emerge. So once we learn the technique of facing the tiger, we can adapt that to different aspects of the shadow that we would like to continue to work on. So I am going to ask you to close your eyes and go on a little inward journey with me. Imagine. Take a deep breath and exhale it. And imagine, we're going into that imagination. And another deep breath and exhale and imagine. So imagine that we're in the bush, deep in the bush, in the jungle, where there is a threat of tigers and other scary animals. So as we're walking along a very narrow, rough pathway, we hear a rustling in the brush. And we are frightened because it sounds like that's coming from behind us. So that is scary when something is sneaking up on us. And then our senses get even more keen because that fight or flight response at the amygdala is kicking in. Our survival mode is kicking in. And we turn slightly over the shoulder and notice that there is, here is my tiger right on the desk in front of me, Bootsy. We notice that there is a tiger behind us. So we have at that moment a chance to pause and make a decision. It's a very important decision. What do I do? Do I run away? If I run, what will happen? Probably that tiger will chase. It will continue to follow me and full speed ahead, chase after me. However, if I turn and make myself really big and scary and open my eyes wide and open my mouth and roar, roar, like my 4-year-old son says when he's being a dinosaur, and be so loud that tiger may what? So you can open your eyes now because you're faced with that decision. If we turn and face the tiger, there is a chance, a 50-50 chance that we could scare it away. And then we have an opportunity to go in a new direction, or the tiger could come after us. But we have at least an opportunity there in that threat. So guess what? We've turned the threat into an opportunity by facing it. And just like all those other shadow aspects that we're going to refer to as tigers or monsters or the goblins or gremlins that are coming to sabotage us and coming after us, because if we don't face them, they will never go away. They continue to follow us through our life. They are there until we face them. So the tiger is a metaphor for all that we are hiding, in denial of, not taking the time to face it, to deal with it. So we need to deal with it. And the way that we can deal with it is turning and looking at it straight on. So it's kind of like carrying a heavy backpack full of our old stuff. It gets heavier and heavier as we go until we begin to empty it and let old things go. So those tigers are our old stuff that we need to let go of. And the quicker, the sooner, the better. The sooner that we do it, the better. We don't want to hesitate and pause too long if we're making a decision for that tiger to come after us, or perhaps we can scare it away with our bigness and our loudness. So we're facing our tigers. So on a form, which I will post, it's called Facing the Tiger Form, I want you to make a list of all of your tigers, all of those things that we haven't faced. It can be things that we need to do. It can be those areas that should be, it's best to be, because we will grow more from our inner demons, facing those inner demons, than the outer ones. I mean, I can make a list forever about all the external things that I need to do that I put off or put aside. Yet the internal ones are where I will have my greatest growth. So what do I need to face? Where do I need to be radically honest? Where do I need to take radical responsibility? Make a list of all of those places. And then, just like the elephant in the living room, we'll address and we'll tackle, we'll take on one tiger at a time. And the way that we will face that tiger is to directly, radically tell the truth about it, directly face it, and make friends with it, like we did with our shadow. Put the rein on it. Tigers love rein. Recognize it. Accept it affectionately. Allow it to be there. Sometimes that means really feeling it. And the I for internally investigating it intimately. Again, that's feeling it, being there with it, and nurturing it. Give it some love. Give it some care and some attention. So we make that list, and we also, on the list or on the form that you'll see, is who do I need to be there with me while I face it? Does it involve another person that I need to call and address and invite to go on this journey with me? Can I do it just by myself? And where does it need to happen? And by when? So by when is the last column, which is really important. When you give yourself a deadline, then it will get done. By when, then it will get done. So put a date. It can be by 6 o'clock tonight, by March the 30th, or it could be later, further out. But let's try to keep it immediate, because there's so many of them within that we really want to start addressing them on a regular basis. So my suggestion would be each week, which tiger will I face? And by the end of the week, I will have faced one tiger by Saturday, the end of the week. And then the next week, I can face another. So how does that sound? If it involves another person, I have a few minutes left. I'll also post a form called the 3 worlds. So one column is my world. So in my world, this is how it looks. This is what I believe from my point of view, from my filter. I love that. Dr. Mackenzie showed us that today. Putting your hand in front of your face to represent, your hand represents all your beliefs, everything you've learned. And we look at life through that perception, our value system. So that's my world. And the third column is the world of the other, because they have a different hand. They have a different handprint that they carry and they filter things through. So even though my husband and I go perhaps to the same movie, and we come out and we're talking about it, I often look at him and wonder, was he sitting there next to me? Was that him? Because we see things very differently at times. So their world, the other's world, can be very different from your world. And then in the center, there's a column for the world, the reality as it is. And I know that we can get philosophical into that there really isn't a reality that is, it's what we make it up to be. Yet there is some consensus in the center that we will both agree on, and that will be our reality world. All right, so we actually did 2 activities. I have a couple of minutes left, and one was as a result of peeling the onion that we did in master certification course last week, a few weeks ago. And that was facing the tigers. And now we look at their shadow and we face them. And then we realize that there's 3 different worlds. So when we're addressing that tiger with someone else, you know, there's going to be their world, my world, and the world in the center. Okay, that is it. I think we're right at almost 15 minutes. Thank you. And I look forward to more little chats with you like this and more lessons and activities. All right. Namaste, adios. Mitakuyasin is a Native American expression to acknowledge that we are all connected and in community. Thank you very much.